everybody. Welcome back to Stargirl Society, the podcast that inspires you to reclaim your power and start living the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Phoebe Goldsmith, and welcome. Today, we are starting a new series. This is a series that I have been anticipating doing since before Stargirl Society was even born. When I first started thinking that I might want to have a podcast, like what would I want to do? And this was one of the first things. Today, we are diving into a law of attraction series. Today, we're going to start with the bare bone basics, assuming that you know nothing. You might know nothing, you might be somewhat familiar, but I think as the law of attraction and manifesting has become very popular, especially on social media, I think that the whole essence of it is a little bit lost. So today we're clearing up everything and we are going to go from the start. How do we actually manifest something? What is the law of attraction actually about? If you like today's episode, be sure to subscribe or follow the Spotify or Apple Podcast profile. You can like this episode or leave a comment down below. And if you like this type of content, my TikTok is at Phoebe Goldsmith and the Instagram is at Stargirl Society Pod. I would love to have you as part of our family. And without further ado, let's get into it. In essence, the law of attraction is the idea that you can attract anything into your life. You can have absolutely anything you want, and I'm going to tell you how. And no, this is not witchcraft, this is not magic. Anyone can adopt the law of attraction into their life. So how does it work? The law of attraction is built upon the concept that like attracts like. That a thought or an action with a certain energy, intention, or frequency is going to attract thoughts and actions with the same energy, intention, or frequency. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a bad mood, more bad things seem to happen to you? When you are in a bad mood, you're emitting a certain frequency, a certain energy from you, through your thoughts, through your actions, and more thoughts and more actions and more experiences that are of the same frequency, that low frequency of a bad mood, are going to be attracted to that, and you will see more of that in your experience, which is what we mean when we say like attracts like. Low frequency, negative energy and thoughts is never going to attract a positive life. If you think of a radio, which sadly I feel like I don't really even use anymore, but we all know that in order to find a radio station, you have to tune your radio to a particular frequency, the frequency of the station that you're trying to find. Every station has its own frequency. So the idea behind the law of attraction and using it to our advantage is acknowledging that we are tuning ourselves into a particular frequency. Replace the idea of the radio stations with particular outcomes in your life, and you will see how we go through this episode that what we are trying to do is tune our frequency to match that of the frequency of the life we want. And this is happening whether we are using it or not. The easiest way to understand the law of attraction is to think about the TikTok algorithm. When you're on TikTok, the things that you interact with, the things that you watch for the longest, that you like, that you comment, that you share, you will receive more of on your For You page. And the law of attraction is the exact same concept. Whatever you are telling the universe that you want through your thoughts and actions, conscious or subconscious, is exactly what you are going to receive back in your experience. And the great thing about thinking about the TikTok algorithm is that I could be interacting with a bunch of stuff, watching a bunch of stuff about people that I don't even like. The more I engage with that, the more I'm going to see it in my For You page. And it's not discriminating whether I actually like the person that I'm watching. So people might sit there and think, why does my life suck? Why does everything I experience feel bad for me? Or like, why do I hate my life? These people are engaging in activities or surrounding themselves with people with that energy. The more energy you give to that lifestyle, you will receive it. And you might not even realize that you're doing that. So how do we emit energy? By now, you might be thinking, what is it about me that is emitting energy? The answer is first and foremost through our thoughts. Your thoughts are the origin of your energy. When you think a particular thing, that has a frequency. And if you act on a particular thought through an action, that is further carrying that frequency. And whatever that frequency was will attract like frequencies back to you in your experience. And the thing is about your thoughts is that your most common thoughts are what is creating your reality. Your thoughts about yourself, what you deserve, what you can achieve in life, how other people should treat you. Biggest mistake people make when understanding the law of attraction is that both conscious and subconscious thoughts are affecting your energy and your frequency. You might decide that you want a better life, a more positive life, and you try and start giving out that energy. That is what you want to experience, which will get you some results. But if you have a subconscious belief that you are not worthy of a positive, good life, and you haven't gone on the journey to alter those deep-rooted thoughts, then these are equally, if not more so, affecting your frequency and what you are seeing. So if you cannot understand why the law of attraction is not working for you, you have to go deep within and understand and ask yourself, do you truly, truly believe that that is the type of life you deserve? Do you truly believe that you're actually capable of doing those things? Because our subconscious beliefs are controlling us more than we know. You could be putting out all this positive energy and the universe could be throwing positive things at you, but if you don't believe you deserve them, you're going to push them away. You're not going to take opportunities. You're not going to make the effort with a new amazing person that's been put in your life. And it's so key that you understand this, and this will change the game for you in the law of attraction. This is also why when you think about law of attraction, or the people that talk about it, they are also talking a lot about healing, about meditation, about mindfulness, because these are the tools that we need in order to start observing our thoughts, to start questioning our thoughts, to start seeing the origin behind our actions, and to figure out how this is affecting our life and our energy. I'm going to give you an excellent example now of the law of attraction. We're going to be looking at Muhammad Ali, who is one of the greatest boxers, greatest athletes of all time. He is someone that used the law of attraction principles way before it became popularized. So Muhammad Ali is famous for speaking his success into existence. He has said that he repeatedly said that he is the greatest before he actually was. And he would say this over and over again in order to create a new identity that he was, to attract the experience of being the greatest into his reality. When you tell yourself something over and over and over, you actually start to act in alignment with what you're trying to believe. So in his case, saying, I'm the greatest over and over, his subconscious started to absorb this. And then whether he noticed it or not, his actions started to reflect that he was the greatest boxer. He also used visualization, which is what a lot of athletes use. Not only speaking as if he were the greatest, but visualizing that he is already the greatest. This mental rehearsal that, like I said, a lot of athletes use can be used to the everyday person, because when you're visualizing it, your brain doesn't know the difference between this happening now or this happening in our mind's eye, right? And your brain is absorbing that as the truth. It's creating these neural pathways that is preparing your brain when you visualize going and doing exactly what you want to do and it working out and achieving it. Subconsciously, when you actually get there, your brain, all it expects is the outcome that you fed to it. If you visualize over and over and over and over you succeeding, your brain thinks, yeah, cool. Like, that's what's going to happen. Your brain is using the same mechanism that it uses to expect everything we experience in life, like press the unlock button on my car keys. My car opens. I open the door. I get in. I go into a lift. I press the floor that I want. When I get to the floor, the doors are going to open. Your brain learns to expect things. So when you start visualizing the outcome that you want, your brain will start expecting it and you will start to act in accordance with that outcome and that outcome only. So let's break down the example that we just had and think about how you are going to use this in your life, how you're going to use these steps of the law of attraction to create your dream reality. Number one, which we've already touched on, is thinking. Thoughts are the origin of your energy. So you have to start thinking as if you already have the thing that you want. And it's very important that you're speaking to yourself in the present tense, that you already have it right now. You can't be saying to yourself, oh, in the future sometime, I'll have this. Oh, I can't wait until I have ... When you say one day, one day, one day, one day, you're emitting the frequency that you do not have something. You're saying, I do not have it now, but I will have it in the future. But if you're giving off the energy of not having something, you are only going to attract experiences of you not having it, because like attracts like. The most important energy is right here, right now. So speak to yourself as if you already have it. That is how you align with what you want. You have to keep consistency between what you are saying to yourself, whether in your head or out loud, and what you are saying to other people about yourself and your identity. Remember, this is about the most common thoughts that you have and that you speak, creating the reality that you see. So, this cannot just be about how you speak to yourself. You have to create this new identity to everybody around you. Otherwise, you are never going to become the person that you want to be. Especially when you have big goals, it's really easy when you're talking to other people to downplay things or say, oh, I could never do that. Oh, I'm kind of hoping that I could achieve that, but like, who knows? We never know. You have to be unequivocally prepared to start speaking as if you have already obtained your desires, that you are more than capable of doing so. But this isn't just about thoughts. You cannot be thinking in one way but acting in another way and expect yourself to receive the things that you want in life. When your thoughts are of a particular frequency, but your actions are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, the universe does not know what you want. It doesn't know what to give you because you are giving so many mixed signals. Some people might not be ready to hear this, but in the law of attraction, action is also essential. Your actions are an extension of your energy because your actions come from your thoughts, which is the origin. Almost everybody has heard the term fake it till you make it. And that perfectly sums up the feedback loop that happens between our actions and becoming what we want. Your thoughts don't only influence your actions can start to influence your thoughts. Your subconscious thoughts are crucial to your belief system and the frequency that you are giving out. And actions are a very powerful tool to altering your subconscious beliefs. The way people treat us as children creates our belief system about ourselves. Therefore, we can use the way we treat ourselves, make a change in the way we treat ourselves, and create a new belief system in the exact same way. The brain learns visually through conditioning, through exposure. If you don't have the thoughts that you're deserving, start acting like the person that you want to become. Start acting like you are deserving. This isn't just about words. This isn't just about affirmations and about thoughts and thinking. This is about showing yourself physically that you are deserving. Your brain has no choice but to accept the way you treat yourself as the truth, because that is how the brain learns and how it creates its identity. This will all be absorbed into your subconscious beliefs. And what comes from subconscious beliefs? Your thoughts. This is the feedback loop that I'm talking about. Your thoughts can alter your actions, and your actions can alter your thoughts. As with our example of Muhammad Ali, you're going to use visualization. Once a day, take a few minutes to visualize exactly what you are trying to manifest. The problem with most people trying to use the law of attraction, the reason that nothing is working is because people are not getting ridiculously specific. If you have tried the law of attraction before and it hasn't worked, it's probably because you are not getting specific enough. Asking for something vague, you will receive something vague. You have to get so unbelievably niche. If you are trying to manifest a new home, for example, you can't just be saying, like, I'm so grateful for this new home. Thank you, universe, for my new home, and have no idea what your home would look like. You need to sit down and visualize, or sit down and write opening the door to your new home. What kind of door is it? What kind of door handle is it? What smell hits you when you walk through the door? How high are the ceilings? What kind of candles do you have? What colors are in this home? You open the fridge. What's in the fridge? How big is the TV? What can you see out the window? And most importantly, what do you feel when you're mentally walking through this house? Adding emotion to your visualization will literally help you crack the code of law of attraction. Why? Because your brain does not know the difference between whether you are experiencing it in your 3D or you are experiencing it in your mind's eye. And when we attach emotion to our visualization, it gets so real for the brain. But if you don't attach any emotion and you have no idea what this house would look like, the universe has no idea what to give you. Nor are you going to be able to actually attract the exact frequency that you want. Frequencies are so specific. So you need to fine tune everything you're visualizing, everything you're asking for, in order to specifically align with that. Because houses come in all shapes and sizes, all different types of qualities. How is the universe supposed to know which one you want? I'm now going to give you some personal examples of how I use the law of attraction in the beginning stages of discovering it. My first example is going to be how I manifested an A star on my exam. Step one was my thoughts. I thought I want an A star on this exam. I decided to think, I'm going to get an A star on this exam. I only thought as if I was going to achieve the A star, as if I had already achieved the A star, that I was more than capable of achieving the A star. Bear in mind, I had never got an A star in this particular subject. So I had no proof of this whatsoever. And next up was my actions. So it's not just about thinking it, doing no work and just thinking, yeah, like I'm going to get an A star. I had to start acting as someone who was going to get an A star. Start acting as someone who was willing to put the work in, knowing that they would get the results. When I was studying, if I found something hard, I wasn't thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be so bad. I would say, okay, I'm going to keep working on this. And it's actually fine because I'm going to get an A star anyway. And my actions extended to before the exam. When I arrived to do the exam, I didn't cram. Whilst most people had their textbooks out last minute or were doing like last minute studying, I didn't, because I knew I was going to get an A star. I was like, well, how would someone act before this exam right now if they knew they were going to get an A star? They wouldn't be cramming. They wouldn't be last minute like flicking through trying to learn things. They'd be sitting there thinking, I know I can do it. I don't need to do anything last minute. What's that going to do for me? Like, is that really going to help me? Is that going to put me in the best mental state? Think about how this person is going to act. Become that person. I also visualized myself receiving the A star throughout studying, after the exam, etc., etc. And what did I receive? An A star. And bear in mind as well, this was not an exam that everyone found easy. A lot of people came out and thought, oh my God, that was horrible. I hated that. I didn't study for that. Blah, 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 blah. Once again, I am not someone who prior to this thought I was capable of achieving like A's or A stars. That wasn't really something I got like across the board anyway in a lot of subjects. Like that just wasn't me or wasn't who I thought I could be. So I easily could have followed the crowd and thought, this is going to be so hard. Oh my God, like I did so bad, blah, blah, blah. And on average, people who took that exam like did not do particularly well. And I could have put myself in that box and I chose not to. Secondly, I manifested Louboutin red bottom heels, and I'm gonna tell you how. I was 17, I had no job and no money, and it was lockdown. So first and foremost, my thoughts. I knew I wanted these shoes and I started to think as if I already had the shoes. I started to visualize myself wearing them. I started writing down that I had them, that I was grateful for them, and most importantly, that I deserved them, that I was the type of person who deserved to have these designer shoes. Craziest part, how I knew this was actually affecting my subconscious brain is because I started to dream about the shoes. Not that I desired them or that I wanted them, but that I already had them. I would have regular dreams with regular things happening, except I was wearing the shoes. The focal point of the dream wasn't receiving them. It was that I already had them. So if your manifestations start to show up in your dreams, that is such a good sign that your subconscious conditioning is working. Anyway, after some time and just trusting that a situation was going to arise in which I was going to receive these shoes, I got a message from someone who lived near me asking if I wanted to do this super simple summer job for them, and they were going to pay me literally almost the exact amount of these shoes. The important lesson here is when you try to manifest something, do not anticipate how it is going to find you. I didn't think Louboutins were just going to drop from the sky and land in my lap. The universe will deliver your manifestations in the form of opportunity. Maybe it will be in the form physically of what you were trying to manifest, but do not close yourself off, because I easily could have looked at that and thought, oh, I haven't got my shoes, but like I've got this money, I guess I could put it towards anything. Like, no, I knew that was the universe delivering exactly what I wanted. I affirmed that the money to have the Louboutins was straight in my account. It is not your job to understand how the universe is going to deliver something to you. So keep yourself wide open to possibility, to opportunity, and don't focus on the time. Now, I just wanted to have this last section of the episode about some tips that you are going to need moving forward as you start this journey or continue your journey with the law of attraction. Because with the law of attraction, the things you shouldn't do are almost as important as the things that you should do. So these will certainly help. Number one is to not worry about or fear negative thoughts. This is what I used to do. I used to think, oh my gosh, like every single thing I'm thinking is affecting my frequency. And from that, you can definitely develop toxic positivity. But do not worry, because it is your most common thoughts. One negative thought here and there, or a minority of negative thoughts, is not going to influence your frequency if more often than not you are thinking in the way that you wish to or that you should to be attracting this. Fear is also one of the most powerful energies. If you start fearing a certain outcome or start fearing negative thoughts or negativity or bad things happening to you, you're actually influencing your energy more so than if you just accept negative thoughts for what they are. Don't judge them. Don't try and act on them. Let them pass and then continue on with your journey and your cultivation of the energy that you are hoping to achieve. Number 2, which might sound a bit contradicting to what I've previously said, is stop trying. You may be thinking, Phoebe, we've just gone through this whole episode and you're telling me how I'm going to do this. Like, how do I do that without trying? There is a difference between action with belief and faith and action based off of fear and anxiety. So if you are acting as the person you are trying to become, putting yourself in positions, being led by your intuition and the guidance of the universe and what is presented to you, and you're following that through your action, that is not a bad thing because your actions carry energy. Any kind of action in the direction of the person that you're trying to become will have a positive impact. However, if you are acting from a place of fear and anxiety that you are not going to receive what you want, so almost not trusting the process and trying to interfere too much, that is when it's going to cause you problems. As I said, it's not your job to decide how it's going to come to you. So when we interfere because we're anxious that we're not going to get it, you're just emitting the energy that you don't have full faith that this is going to work and that maybe you're not going to receive it. And when you're giving off that energy, that is what is going to be in your experience. Such a key part in the law of attraction is cultivating your thoughts, your actions, but you must let go and trust and have faith. I plan to do an entire episode on how to let go because I think that people struggle the most with letting go, with having faith and trust in this process. Despite what is going on around you in our 3D reality, that is where people get tripped up. But on the most basic level, I would just say, ensure that you're not putting time constraints on things. As you can tell by now, this is not something that like majority of society is utilizing. And time, like days, weeks, months, hours, is something we've made up, right? It's been created by society. So I wouldn't stress too much about your manifestations coming to you in a socially constructed way when most people in society are not following the law of attraction, which to me is higher. It's more than just what we experience on a societal level. Your dreams are chasing you. And I'll say it again, your dreams are chasing you, not the other way around. When you try and interfere with divine timing and every single minute detail of things that happen to you, which is all working in your favor, whether you can see it or not, you are giving off the energy of lack of faith, lack of trust that this is going to work out for you. Lack will only attract more lack. You have to start affirming to yourself and start believing that your dreams are chasing you. You don't have to do anything. The universe is doing the work as to how it's actually going to come to you. You don't have to think about that. You have to sit there and imagine all your dreams, all your desires. They're addicted to you. They can't wait to get to you. They're running to find you. They're trying to align with you. You don't chase them. They chase you. Let your dreams find you. Another thing that's really crucial to the law of attraction, which you can integrate in the steps we've already talked about, is gratitude. When you are grateful for what you already have, you are giving off the energy that you have, and you will only have more because of that. If you're trying to manifest a car or a new car, be grateful, affirm through your words, through journaling, through your thoughts, through your actions, that you are grateful for the car that you already have, or that you're grateful for public transport, or for every single time you get from A to B safely. Affirm that you are so grateful that that happened. Because when you do that, you're giving off that you always get from A to B safely and you're happy about it. Because when you're thinking about getting a new car, when you're visualizing it, you're visualizing yourself thinking, oh, I just arrived at this destination, feeling so good. You turn around, you look at the car, you lock it, you're so happy that you have it. It could take you where you wanted to. So you have to start cultivating that now, no matter what your situation is. Or say you currently have a car, but you treat it badly. you don't take care of it, even though you're thinking, oh, I just want a better car, I just want a better car, all you are giving off is that you don't care about your car. And that's not specific to the car that you have right now. All that gives off, the frequency that is aligning with, is you don't care about having a car. You don't take care of cars, you're not bothered about it, which if you're trying to get a new one, certainly not the energy you want to be giving. Love your car. I don't care what car it is. If it fails you all the time, start taking care of it, start loving it, start being so grateful that you have this car, and see what happens. What I will end off with today is that you should be continuously reminding yourself how powerful you are. Start setting goals as if you truly believed anything was possible. The thing I love most about the law of attraction and what it has taught me in my own life is that my brain is infinite. I can literally achieve anything. And although I would probably recommend you start small if you're very new to this, like decide that you're going to get the best parking space today in the car park, or that someone's going to smile at you today, or someone's going to compliment you, something small. It is easier to build faith when you start with things that you currently believe are possible for you, something that with your subconscious beliefs right now, you think, okay, that could happen. It's important you start with those things, but you also need to allow yourself to realize how powerful you truly are. If you can visualize something, you can do it. I don't care what anyone says. Building this mindset is raising your vibration in every possible way, because you are going to start to act like you are important, that you're valuable. When you think that your brain can achieve anything, your self-love increases. The way you let other people treat you changes. The way you walk into a room changes. This is why it's such a beautiful journey. One of my favorite quotes for the law of attraction comes from the book The Secret, which, by the way, you should definitely read. It's like the Bible for law of attraction. But the quote goes like this. It says, "All your power to create your life is available right now, because right now is when you are thinking." Never underestimate the power of your thoughts. You can follow the Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith, also linked below. I would love to have you in this family. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.